on joy.
Feasgar mag efo chairdean agus fáilte chríal aribh do chéalaí Taynuilt. Mr. Andrew Dunlop agus a dhíist sé talach géiríad of a hound a bhí nor cuideach. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another one of our world famous virtual Taynuilt Ceilidhs. If you've been tuning in for this virtual series, you will know that I'm Joy Dunlop and I'm thrilled to be back. This is actually our last virtual Ceilidh in this series and we have a cracking lineup for you. As always, Vigga gymas not cleinchin fwaf, cwas a hashe vigeisteach agus na big shiv Johnach ubiachgan agus dúrachgan akal kudiach idir dulik Facebook, fiction uavasach snog. As always, we'd love to hear who you are, where you're listening from, and if you want to say hello to anybody, do leave us a wee message on our Facebook page. You're always so good at keeping in touch and it's lovely to see that. And I'm seeing a couple of comments coming in already. So hello to Aunt Elsie, who's listening in Hamilton, and also Kathy McManus. Feasgar Maggie to Kathy. It's always lovely to see you. Oh, and on that hooray, I see a wee one squeezing in there also from Aileen Baird. So yeah, do say hello. I'll try and get through as many people as possible. And on that, we're going to kick off our Ceilidh, I think. As I was saying, a fantastic lineup tonight and definitely a good Argyll feel to the night. Smershin, habit the luchur falche, it a hiet neach cool a hakin and noch, I guess sauna Caradale, and hin cheetah a ha, ar peepere and noch Lorne MacDougall. So it's lovely when you get to have local performers, even on a virtual stage. And our first one tonight is our piper, Lorne MacDougall, hailing from Caradale, although he's currently in Glasgow. And Lorne has... I mean, he's a bit of a superstar now, really. If you have ever heard the bagpipes on a TV programme in the last few years, it was probably Lorne. And I'm going to let him tell you a wee bit in a bit about what he's been up to. But first, I'm going to get to say hello to him. And I haven't seen him for ages. So I'm really thrilled to be saying hello. Lorne, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, Joy. I love it when you call me Lorne, yeah.
Yeah. It's so nice to see you. It's been forever.
I know. It has. I mean, it's been about 2.5 years. I can't actually really think when the last time was that we actually met face to face.
I know.
Yeah, it's been too long. We can fix that soon, though.
Definitely, and that's the lovely thing now, probably since even the last time we were on the Taynuilt Ceilidh, is things are starting to loosen up. We can meet in public now and get everybody's news. So have you been keeping well over the last wee while?
Yes, I've been doing okay, just doing what everyone else has been doing. A lot of home teaching from home recording and things like that. And then the big project that I've been back into is with THREE, which is a group of 10 pipers. We've got a piping live concert coming up, which hopefully is in less than a month's time, and hopefully it will have a live audience there as well.
Oh, lovely.
In the piping centre, and whether it's got a live audience or not, we're still going to be live streaming it for piping live. So that's been what I've been up to most of today. Quite intense stuff, if I'm honest, but it's exciting. It's good.
And now you're relaxing in the warm company of the Taynuilt Ceilidh, the virtual one anyway. And you're on pipes tonight, but I'm not seeing any bagpipes there at the moment.
Well, I've just recently moved into a new flat and I've not really gauged what the neighbours are like yet. I used to have great neighbours that were always banging on my door at 3 a.m, which didn't annoy me because I was always up playing pipes then anyway. So, I decided it might be a better idea to use these guys here, which is what's called a digital chanter. So within this, it's got a number of different pipe sounds, and very good pipe sounds. The sort of electric pipe things have came on leaps and bounds in the last 5 to 10 years. So I thought I would do that. When we were sound checking there, I actually found myself turning the volume up to almost the same volume as what the Highland pipes would be anyway. So I just need to keep aware of that. Otherwise, there's no real point of using these guys. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be using today, just to keep the neighbours happy.
Well, this is definitely a first for the Taynuilt Ceilidhs. And what are you going to play for us then for your first set?
First set is a set of a tune that I wrote myself actually back in March, which you actually contributed to, I've just realised, back in March 2020, when we all thought that lockdown was going to last 3 weeks. So I thought, since I was stuck in Caradale, well, I was stuck in Caradale, but I was very happy to be there, I thought I would write a wee tribute to the village, and it's called Portnaskadden to Firdale, and of course those names are probably a bit alien to people from Caradale unless they know a bit about fiction and books that have been written that feature Caradale. So that's two names of the village that's been used in fiction. Portnaskadden was used by Naomi Mitchison back in the 1920s, and more recently a crime a crime author called Denzel Merrick uses Fairdale as Carradale in the books, and if you read the books, you'll recognise it straight away. And then one of my own tunes, and then The Old Woman's Dance, and then Dr. Flora Macaulay of Carradale. You can tell I'm missing the place, can't you?
Oh, that's what we like. Taynuilt Ceilidh is never going to say no to anything Argyll based. Shoot maha.
Here we go.
Afet Joe Hoshach Toshkin Shin for Whyte Mcdougall in a feeb. It is, I mean, there's nothing like hearing the pipes to get yourself going for a Ceilidh. And they make a great sound, actually, those digital ones.
Yeah. Well, I've got more to show off later.
Oh, well, I'm hoping you're going to give us something else now. We're going to try and just wring as many tunes out of you as you can.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah, I'm going to change on to small pipes, which they've got in here as well. And play another couple of tunes. The first one's actually a reasonably recent one that I wrote. I used to have a flat in Argyll Street, and I was awake watching the fire at the Glasgow School of Art, and I was messing about on my pipes while I was doing it. And then the next day I woke up and just realised how sad the city was. And you just got this there was this smell of smoke, and you could just feel everyone in a total downer. So I went back and revised what I was messing about with the night before, and turned it into a bit of a tune. Probably still not complete yet. It might not ever be complete. It might be one of these ones that uses a good excuse to just test at each gig and see if I can get away with it. But I've called that tune. There's definite bits of tunes in there, even though there's a lot of improv as well. I've called that tune "The Grieving City," and after that, 2/4 March called "Carradale Bay."
Back in Edom Shin of Lorne, and I'm loving the digital chanter with the different sounds. I'm very much looking forward to as well what new sounds he's going to have for us later on, because he is going to come back, he's going to play for us some music, and we'll definitely have more chat about Doctor Who, How to Train Your Dragon, and all the other exciting things that he's involved with. Tapalif Gabor Lorne. Nisha, Immer dachten je mar ha eid brach hurricane ar dulik Facebook. I guess I'm the yachin re trog trofe drastic you. It's lovely. It really is lovely when you say hello over on Facebook. Loads of people already saying hi. So I'm going to try and as quickly as I can for this big first tranche get through you. Otherwise I might forget somebody, and if I do, I'm very, very sorry. So if I can give Aileen Barst a geisach an Pashlig, John Deans an Taynuilt, I guess Audrey's Davy an Taynuilt. Greg Campbell also watching from Denmark. This is a very hot Denmark. It's a very hot Glasgow even here. So I don't know what our Gael is looking like, but we're all sitting here in our shorts because it's boiling here. Feasgar Macudach do Vagini Cunyi. Creena Jackson is watching from Lochalan. Alasdair's granny, and we are going to have Alasdair Whyte giving us a few songs in a wee bit. So it's lovely to see that she's listening. We have wee James, who's only 20 months, dancing away to Lorne's pipe music there. So far, the prize though for the furthest flung performer is Amy Armstrong. She's listening from Wisconsin in the States. Ian McPherson from a very sunny South End. I'm sure it's always sunny down there. And Ronald McCoy, maybe winning actually. He's listening from Melbourne in Australia, and Ron comes along to all of our Ceilidhs. It's about 4 or 5 in the morning there every time he comes in, but he's wonderful. Just, it's lovely to have you listening. Rule, Anne Warren listening in Gairloch, Liz Robertson, Moira Thompson in Port Appin, Liz Robertson, Jane Miles listening in Blairgowrie, Agnes Stewart from Slàinte, and Bennett Cúideach a Géisigar an Dundee. Ach fiach a very hello Arari, Dynnu na Gís ile at the Hage and the Hirurt. Ach mar is avish nach active urbiachken ha uavs os knock Cleanchin vuav. It's always really lovely to hear from you, so do say hello. Now, as the Ceilidhs have been running for the last 6 months or so, it has been really, really lovely to see all the singers and the musicians coming through. And every single time I get somebody asking, Joy, why won't you sing? I think insinuating I'm being quite lazy here, doing all the talking. So this time there's absolutely no getting out of it, as it is our last Ceilidh in this three. Anyway, we'll see if we carry on as the months go on. I have been put up as first singer of the night, and I've got my comments open here, so if anybody does want to ask for a specific song, you're more than welcome. Ruta fa mis mwynhach ag anoch gyda, gyntoshich mi le oren as a skida ac un hun. Agus ha dŵn yn y cors i rymsa a fi gael oren i'r eilf. Gwhari oren as a fal ac am hun, nio as na balchan, a ha fashgir ma chria mar gymbiag. So I do always love singing our Gael songs. There unfortunately aren't very many songs that mention Connell. I do look, I try and find them. They're not there so much. So I kind of tend to go a wee bit further out sometimes and take in the villages that are linked in some ways. And this one mentions Port Appin, and for anybody that knows, Dad is a Port Appin born and bred boy, and the song Irilia Hamaroon has a very attractive, very capable man from Port Appin in this one. So Dad used to always claim it was written about him, but it is another one of these love songs where she just thinks he is the best man in the world. He is handsome, he is capable, he'd fit in well with the nobility. So I think he must have been quite a stunner. But it's always been one of my favourites. I've been singing this since I was wee. And if there are any Port Appin men out there, you can also pretend that it's about you. So Shark Maha, Idda Ha Maroon. Idda Ha Maroon, Ha Maroon. Vona hukurium tochub be mogurach ganchilium saune huade tarachok na bin voyach nan gillian speak and tune ye this was auna nuashlas and garinyas falt da hin hatu avlachtlu danel khuri rafilish da hulviavach Charach yun stu morun jenne gillian Avaira Talk Horst na nian van na hichtjek Gonna du lekig fiev Seraba krieva chani thig Avaira Talk Húrsna dunjaun sevala Gaini hínu meisgan taloi Aunen nuasla sangarinias Eða hilja hamorun Eða hilja Fála hugguðum dochúð Bemogurach gan chilju Takk Lou. Thank you. Ha dŵr yn carnionach a fi na dy fynd yn te, agos fi siarad ac yn dŵr nawm, a chab yn dal lintyn o'r cyw. Agos, sioffer sy'n ahor ein y Sherlums, Mcdougall gytrich gen Caelian, leis gyfel jo heist iawn, agos gydawn a idigelf a hai. So this is probably one of my favourite Ceilidh songs. I'm definitely biased. I think that our Gael songs are the best out there. And this has got a lovely chorus to it, and it's one I love singing. Again, it's a good Argyll song, Alasdair as Chanter from Mull. And there seems to be a lot of this type of song where, again, she's praising a very handsome man who just can do no wrong in her eyes. And this is definitely no exception. So if you're at home having a wee listen and you want to sing along, please do. It's always nice to feel like you've got a wee audience there. Shock of my Alasdair as Chanter. Alasdair as Chanter Stúlien an jas grúagach Dogul ein moharach Sa bhláisiúd manuagsa Cha gáil hanam lambansa Cha nach Skatoch ach sauna mulle garichach mach falja latayn duolich Alasdair as Chanter Stúlien an jas grúagach Dogul ein moharach Sa bhláisiúd manuagsa Hjúlin fad Mcdougall leat long sa húdag suas a bhí fad sa chuidich gúsin gar suidich har gúantan Alasdair as Chanter Stúlien an jas grúagach Dogul ein moharach Sa bhláisiúd manuagsa Hjúlin fada lecht Cho fad san gel anwainja Nan gealach tú nuair híliamid An snaimach nach fuasglach Alasdair as Chanter Stúlien an jas grúagach Dogul ein moharach Sa bhláisiúd manuagsa Thank you. Agus táflaibh go deachar a thula duine a ha is bra acail idir dulik Facebook. Lots of hellos to be said now, so I'm just going to run through them while I'm taking a wee minute there. Katrina MacArthur enjoying Lorne's piping, a wonderful sound, and Janet McFarlane, her and Jessie are listening in Taynuilt. You probably will remember Grant McFarlane was in our first Ceilidh, and it's nice to see that his relations are still coming in. We have Màiri MacInnes, Geisteach as an Tob on Ceilidhs, Lorraine Gallagher, agus David on Paisley, agus, dúine grabhtain, Gymasnok! Agus hannu Mcdougall leaving each of each end. Jane is definitely saying, seems the West Coast is famed for their handsome men. Well, look at who we have tonight. I definitely can't dispute that. It is an odd, though, segue, as I'm now about to introduce my brother. So I'm not going to dwell too much on that one, apart from saying, of course, he's a handsome man to other people apart from me. Sadly, unfortunately, Andrew and I are quite used to performing together. Today I'm in Glasgow and he is in Leeds, so we're not getting a chance to do anything. But is it just as sunny down there as it is for us up here?
It was really sunny today. As I say, I think I've burnt all the back of my neck and my shoulders out in the garden today.
Yeah, the Dunlop men are not famed for their ability to dig a tan.
We are not, no.
So you're on holiday at the moment.
I am, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I mean, I obviously know Andrew very well, but Andrew is the pianist for Northern Ballet in Leeds, and they've actually probably been one of the few companies who have managed to do some touring over the whole pandemic. But you're getting a wee break at the moment.
Yeah, we managed to get about 4 weeks of touring in at the end of last season. The first week was quite bizarre because it was when everything had just opened, and we were in Salford, and it's a big theatre. I mean, it seats about 3,000. And we were only allowed about 600 or 700 in, so it did feel like you were playing to kind of about 4 people. Mm-hmm. But then we did London, which was a bit busier, and then we finished off in Leeds. So it was nice to actually get back out and do something again, because it had been obviously a long time for all the orchestra and the dancers and all the backstage staff. And
you were still performing with an orchestra and with with a smaller crew maybe than normal.
Yeah, I mean, we had the orchestra, we managed to keep ourselves all distance, so we did some shows with less of the orchestra, with only 13 of us. And then when we went into the theatre in Leeds, we took the front few rows of the theatre out, so the orchestra could all be spaced. And then the company, the dancers themselves, we split into 3 bubbles, which was useful because in our last week, unfortunately, we had our first positive case and had to shut part of the company down, but it meant that we could still keep performing.
Mm-hmm. And for anybody that complains that it's hard to walk around and do your shopping in a mask, dancers who can rehearse all day in a mask have my utmost respect.
I know, when you see them doing a 3-hour Swan Lake call with a mask on, throwing people around, you realise that wearing a wee mask on a bus isn't so bad.
Yeah. Now, I don't think you're going to be playing from Swan Lake for us tonight, though.
I thought I'd give that a miss tonight, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you going to perform for us?
Well, the nice thing about lockdown, as you know, is like a lot of people have been doing stuff online. And I don't know if you remember, I sent you a message a few weeks ago, but I was watching Deirdre Graham, whose new album's out. Yeah. And she posted a video of her singing Doll and Doll. And I hadn't heard it for years, so I thought I would play that first. Yeah,
one of the most beautiful songs, which comes from Chanter.
I didn't know that bit.
Just agree, always agree.
Yeah, that's why I picked it, a nicer Gael song.
That's it. So I'll give Andrew 2 seconds while he runs over to his piano for Mcdougall and Doll. And it'd be very cruel making poor Andrew run between the piano and the laptop so he can say hello. Now, I'm always at the Ceilidhs encouraging everybody to plug anything that they've got going. And I know that you've been very busy with lots of different projects. So which one would you like to talk about first?
Well, I think it was like most people, when lockdown started, like we all thought it was just going to be a few weeks. So after like about a few days of just sleeping solidly, I was like, okay, I've got a few weeks to get everything done that I've been saying I'm going to do for about 6 years and never have the time to do. So I finally got time to make a wee book of arrangements, which I wittily called Scottish Piano Volume 1. Because there's room for Volume 2, 3 and 4. But yes, I did that, and it's Joy. Do you know where it's for sale? Do you know where you can buy it, Joy?
Please tell me, where can you buy this wonderful compendium of piano pieces?
You can buy it on a wonderful website, joyandandrewdunlop.com.
What is the? I was going to say, I'm watching you like a hawk here because Andrew, what is our website?
I couldn't quite look it up quick enough.
joyandandrew.co.uk.
That's it.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's basically just a whole load of arrangements of Gaelic songs. So there's 10 of them, and which start a bit easier and then get a little bit trickier as they go on. And you can also buy it from Jean Gillison. She's lovely in stocking it in her website as well.
Yep,
so that's been
music
nice.
in Scotland. So yeah, and I think that has actually been, for many people, the one bonus of lockdown. It has forced you to do the projects that you wouldn't normally do because you are too busy juggling travelling and performing and all the other fun parts of music.
And especially, you know what it's like when you're writing stuff and you sometimes feel like you just need a little bit of headspace to actually sit down and have a think rather than constantly running on a treadmill. So that was actually, I mean, that was great for the first month when I was like, oh, I've got all this time.
Yeah.
And then month 2, I was like, I've got all this time.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have been saying that. So are you going to perform something from your wonderful book of arrangements?
Actually, one of the next tunes is, yes, I'm going to do a wee set next of slightly faster tunes, a Strathspey and 2 reels. Actually, 2 of them are. The first Strathspey I learned years ago in the Girl Guide Hall in Oban. The Strathspey and Fiddle Society, I think, ran a whole load of fiddle workshops with Maurice Duncan. And I was there along with Julie Buchanan.
Yep.
We were there for the intermediate class, and this is one of the Strathspeys, and I've been trying to find it because Maurice always had the ability to find the amazing tunes from like the really old books and sources, and I got most of the books, but I can't find it, so I can't type what it is.
So if anybody out there knows what the name is of this first tune, type in the comments.
I was going to say, I'll ask Julie Buchanan, she'll remember, but it's in F major, and I'm sure it's like Mrs. Somebody.
Of somewhere,
or giving compliments to somebody, but I think it's a Mrs. Somebody. I also played it at the Royal National Mods at one point on the fiddle, which was an interesting year for the fiddle competition. And then I'm going to play 2 reels. Would you take what's worse? I've forgotten the name of the next one. Wait there 2 minutes.
I think sometimes Andrew forgets we are hosting a live Ceilidh Your Vox, but we'll wait as he goes to get his book to check the name of his second tune.
This is why I'm not allowed
Have
to
you
talk
found it?
normally. I had to look up my own book. Mrs. Moneypenny of Pit Millie. It's a bit of a mouthful.
And your third tune?
In my defence, I watched a lot of daytime TV as well during lockdown. And my third tune, I just like to play because it's a Wine Monster, and it was it's a good story about this. It was written for Rhoda Wilkie. Because we were on tour with you, if you remember.
Yep.
And
Lorne.
And Lorne, yeah. And they made the mistake of giving us free wine. And I was really good. Like, I never drink before I play because I can't. Because I get the fear that if I drink anything, like, eternal doom will start. But then we drank quite a lot after the concert. So much so that I looked around and at one point we'd swapped clothes for no reason at all. And it's quite a nice little 4/4, apart from the middle section, which is in 7/8, which I hope is when we tried to stand up at the end of the night and realised that putting one foot in front of the other was quite tricky. So yeah.
Great. So we have the unknown tune, Mrs. Moneypenny and Wine Monster.
We do, yeah.
Great. Well, I'll let you toddle off to the piano and play these things. And I'm just going to remind everybody, the next time Andrew asked for a microphone, this is the reason that he's not allowed it.
There's that too.
Yes. And if you'd like to buy his book, joyandandrew.co.uk. Shut up. Andra, and Andrew will be back in later on to give us some more tunes and without a doubt more stories. So these are we well targun geisteach Halda sin House of Us le Keens. Apologies as always if I miss everybody because lots of people saying hello. We've got Raymond Gosling, Helen Pearson, Annie Warren. She was enjoying your playing, Andrew. Also, who have we missed? Katrina MacArthur was saying it would be lovely to hear Andrew and I performing together. We had hoped we might be able to do that, but unfortunately not this time. We did manage to release an album together on the day that the UK went into full lockdown, and unfortunately we haven't been able to do anything together practically since. So yeah, maybe in the future we can keep hoping. Coile Haakin, Colin Fisher, gra hello. Really nice to see everybody as always. Nisha, maar van Mcdougall gave she eiche one hul ha show agus trúr hennetar in a hacking ha eith baunor a chumigéldich a choshain agus fedju she Alasdair Mcdougall as an taling an the Newland Vula agus Alasdair Injamal House of Us, maar via jo hinneter ach kudjach joldige in je menaatje. Agus, wel, begonnen a great dochter, Alasdair Mcdougall ha kin neslís gewille een toevis round zich again if gehad eith in skire ikke heen hoofshin. So it is so lovely to be able to say hello to a fellow gold medalist and our Gael boy, Alasdair Whyte from Slàinte in Mull. And as we all know, not only is Alasdair a beautiful singer, he's also done so much research, particularly into place names of the Lyle Mull and Slàinte and many other areas, which I'm sure you'll be talking about in a wee bit. And also he's even got a doctorate to his name. So we're really thrilled that he is back here with us in Ceilidh Taynuilt. He's definitely not a stranger to the Ceilidhs. And Alasdair is one of the ones that since he was wee has been coming along to the Ceilidhs. So it's lovely to have him here. Kibber a how noch, Alasdair?
Mi gyma joy taflet. Agus thank for the submission.
Oh, no, how long a the eighth, hula mulbug. I guess if I lose an a Glasgow noch, no vilu ration and mula.
Ha, I mean, Glasgow and Gerstad, ach, a dúrlach am a bhí cat rastada tar múla agus Glasgow. So na cháirte an dáire ciú, agus gnáichin it osglaigh rutbeic ciú.
Se fucha gehaun nach gym fútin is se chile ach gesafelt agus bic núne chu seachad itar an dáte.
Sé gatada.
I guess je ha idir bhí rísme ha sna bic an vías an I galbh.
Well, ha mi le forstnach go bhéle nó para ha seo acha mi galtha Glasgow agus ramsaigh na iniman na náte gan ma chumala dal. Ne hef hiúl chusin klár úr i'r fwg colorí Whyte, leis chalan ac am Whyte as a bharst agus jyst mian gráich yn nŵr sin ach va ymimid rwtan ienig an a chlárig an a dói túrit i eilite va mi se y ffwrach an a múle gan awm agus san an topper rhain i chlárig agus rhain ros a chlárig agus an férile has a chalan an a Glasgow agus chusin cálag cat lein chusin I glad cálag lein.
I guess she fear your chlad out, and I should say if anybody hasn't heard the Whyte album or the Whyte albums, as there are now more than one, definitely worth checking out. It's just so wonderful to hear Gaelic music in a slightly different style and really innovative, impressive new sounds there. So do check them out. A Chanil Ross called Ruth Gemiorstach and noch get that shin Gamatolish Givalu Hain and Lahar. I guess I'm a keen to give us a keel look at Gimfemi or in a gal late.
Well, she fiach mi sin ciú she hiet dar an vis am ha mir san graichin gailach a hokal mar ha kachel pianist chenne agus valm táisi le ar an geil a ile agus minichi mi bekan skinse kan enig tar has níisteach gan darintach minichi bekan me an sa verla erikos nach galig coach. So yeah, I'll start off with I can keep the Argyle theme going and start off with a song from Isla. First, a love song that was composed by Duncan Johnson for his love during the First World War. And I'm sure lots of you at home listening will know the chorus of this, so it'd be great to think that you're singing along. as I give it a go here. So this is Síne Bhean. Bhain an chalín Síne Bhean, réal na níon díle sóg, cúspertí bherí dam gan, garag chrí an ríbinneog. Ar a sanna bhacin hawl, ar I bhonní I níoseo. Scill ar sanna soinir bawl, mar rain scill fwyr fian gio. Bhain an chalín Síne Bhean, réal na níon díle sóg, cúspertí bherí dam gan, garag mo chrí an ríbinneog. Brúilean gogaí ann san tír, feich gan long a tógáil heol. Cloigheann drumas foiim nan píp, feich na suine dul bost. Bhain an chalín Síne Bhean, réal na níon díle sóg, cúspertí bherí dam gan, garag mo chrí an ríbinneog. Smain dan mi bhí Slàinte, statí ran an gunnan mór, an baile bhonní ní mi taf, le Síne Bhean, mar ríbinneog. Bhain an chalín Síne Bhean, réal na níon díle sóg, cúspertí bherí dam gan, garag mo chrí an ríbinneog.
Chadéidir cearlaí Jo ór an chéalaí ag go bhfuil séis, agus bh mi féicin grá na sinnearin ar an scrín necam san Uin bheits a gáilpáirt as a chéalaí, an tócail an cuiidcúchan na seo cáildarí Alasdair. Agus I bharach géad a bhí chláirigh ag an taí, a bhfuilú iad códamanile beámar an bí ag Alasdair ein háast.
Chaníl leis an níomhníiseach, práisiid na gá ar tíine seach, práisiid sáirte cáilú taine agus antra bhícin go réit teach licní le antra pican a ráin muna sin háast. Ach rut an bica siit sa seo, ach chaníl ar ástúla ceist mar go big.
Hanneánach nach chéil, smúneach go bhfuil bliana go lí ar a gáil seacha in is a chabhór gan dat ferimil cóla a féach cin, well ha dúntaigh mór ar a sin, a bhí sé go dúndrain agus ha bhí smúneach go bhfuil dúine le cuideach.
Ha mi lechte sin nach ha mi de vi loib deach annig a sechar am sit ha mi de vi loib prásit er vil Global Music Match agus ha gasta feikin ha sin kar an a buien callí ha scored mór an de lokiúl ach ha buinen beka akin goach de steifrásigt agus ha mi feikin gevil kaach as a reing mar sin blad as a recht in vik. Vi ástúla agus fésin gan cumal háda siit in gceiste agus. sé se ha tócail an líb sin gon Jacob.
Could you give? Agus, gyd na cael sy'n y cynnig eich bio, ha sy'n bio ar loedia, agus fe gyda gymasnog o'r yn idle a chleinti'n fod hyn?
Wel, fiach mi ha cenel ik yn oren sio rys yn oren mierig gan y doi Slàinte vanilach ha yn oren sio gwtach get the sun a mwle va fer a rainia. I kind of a link to the last song. Hello Granny, by the way, I should say that. Introduce this one. I linked to the last song, and it was also composed for a girl from Islay, but this time the composer is a fellow from Mull, Ian McCallion, John McLean, and he was in the Indies when he wrote this. Very ill, and hoping that he would get back, and I'm sure that many of you in the audience will know the chorus of this one as well, and the other singers on this. On the bill tonight, so please do join in with it. Taynuilt Ceilidh. Taynuilt Ceilidh, Ceilidh, Ceilidh. Taynuilt Ceilidh nach Ceilidh now. Chatil mi feiniucht chanit mi son hamigel namoayeti. Strunach ron mis maroi kelig mulach leeften en bjaunt en moor, kan vi garnistjach ach jongen lee, skan tuking fengi ne ketan po. Taynuilt Ceilidh, Ceilidh, Ceilidh. Taynuilt Ceilidh nach Ceilidh now. Chatil mi feiniucht chanit mi son hamigel namoayeti. Strunach ron mi en kneffeling en avig ytra med barnen taun. Des fering i skripak Danielen nilach farvelen riving jak min traum. Taynuilt Ceilidh, Ceilidh, Ceilidh. Taynuilt Ceilidh nach Ceilidh now. Chatil mi feiniucht chanit mi son hamigel namoayeti. Ook mi saunem fieres kleite, Gandulum eiche gebimbio, Pefamas moinden, Elas eiche, Gefein feche, Ist du im Chor. Taynuilt Ceilidh, Ceilidh, Ceilidh. Taynuilt Ceilidh nach Ceilidh now. Chatil mi feiniucht chanit mi son hamigel Namal Ayeti. Tachwyd.
O, rhain, fri a gyrir efo sy'n fog Alasdair. Agus golwch gyfle a cwrs greif sy a ha a geisio chamas ha cwrs yr einion sio. Beautiful songs there. And we're going to get Alasdair back in a wee bit. So lovely to see how much you're also enjoying listening to the singing. Alasdair will be able to go back and have a wee nosy later, but lots of nice things are being said about you. Nis a charsin, ha sinne in seo ag miach ruachan agus Ceilidh hainlún te ferach géin gemaforstanach gon séteach céin ar na Ceilidh seo a chumal agus huair sin bicin taig agus fo vorsna gaelig agus fo Asian an Gael tron bhún ach go tascug agus ha sin fatan an comainar sin hálica lein a bhí fiachin a rutan í dhéanamh ar leine agus sin a mis mid gorás go bhfuil tí a Ceilidh ha seo a sin a bhí dhéanamh súla mína sé fat Shia Mia san gitahadrif sin hug sin agus a ríis bevalum taing chriel a horse gaif sin. So as you know, we've probably been holding these Ceilidhs. I think it's 6. I think this is our 6th Ceilidh, which is quite hard to think that they've been going 6 months. And we were so fortunate to get a wee bit of funding from Bors na Gaelic and also from Feasgar Gael through their Tascug funding. And it just meant that we were able to give a wee bit to the performers and try to take the Ceilidhs online, but without a doubt there's no way that we'd be able to do this without the technical savvy of Simon Thoumire from Hands Up for Trad. And Simon's been in the background for the last few Ceilidhs, yes, keeping everything right, and most importantly pressing the applause button. But what some of you might not know actually, that Simon himself is a fantastic musician, and as this is the last one in our wee season, it's kind of a home Ceilidh really. Everybody we've got tonight has got a good link to the Ceilidhs or Gael. We're going to get Simon, we're basically going to make him work for his money tonight, and we're going to get him to play a wee bit, and it means he has to put himself on the screen as well. So Simon, Feasgar ma Joy, come on a how Haguma, cymryd a haw hyn.
Haguma, tapelicht. Agus, Melton Jonach.
Melton Each.
Neoch, speak Gaelic.
Oh, tapelit. I mean, I'm not sure if people are appreciating this. Simon has been hitting the Duolingo hard in lockdown. We are thrilled to have you here actually on screen as part of Taynuilt Ceilidhs, because you have been wonderful over the last week, making sure that everything works behind the scenes and not having an absolute meltdown when they don't.
We have definitely had some really great stressful moments throughout.
We have, but we got through it, and we are here to not talk too much about them and get on with the music.
I have to say, I'd just like to talk about my favourite one was the start of the show when it was all going wrong and people weren't able to connect, and then the piper started and he was playing his tunes and he kept blocking out and he was going na 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 na. That was my head in the arms moment.
We just pretended it was a new cool fancy tune that had lots of syncopation in it. But Simon, for those of you people out there who don't know you, tell us a wee bit like where you're from and how you get into music.
Yeah, well, I'm from Edinburgh, the capital, as I like to tell people. I started playing music. I started with the recorder when I was 7. I started with the bagpipes and the Boys Brigade when I was 9. And then when I was 12, I got a concertina, which I still remember to this day. Getting my concertina I just fell in love, and I'm still in love with it today. It's taken me all over the world. I've won lots of amazing things with it, and I've been very, very lucky. And you know, as an older musician now, I turned 51 the other day there. I'm just...
Oh, Mieldeneach!
I'm just very, very lucky to work with an organisation like Hands Up for Trad, and we do so many amazing things, and working with you, Joy, and all these brilliant things that we've got coming up together. I am just really lucky. And to hang out with even these musicians and listen to these musicians that are singing and playing tonight. I mean, we are so lucky. Scotland is so lucky.
Yeah, and I think all musicians who are involved in the trad scene know how much work Simon does. He's one of these people that's behind the scene, always willing to help, and he has a wonderful capacity to just give things a go. Like if you suggest anything, Simon was like, we'll try it. We'll see how it goes.
I love to fail.
No, you love to try, and that's the most important thing. But actually, I think a lot of people might not know that you were one of the early, very young winners of the BBC Two Young Folk Musician of the Year.
That's correct. In 1989, I won the BBC Radio Scotland BBC Radio 2 Young Trad Award, and it was great times. I mean, in these days, there weren't so many young musicians kicking around, and just actually being part of that process, I met so many people that I still know today, and for that very reason that we started the BBC Radio Scotland Young Traditional Musician Award back in whenever that was, 2000 or something.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the concertina is probably one of the few instruments that I don't think has featured yet at the Taynuilt Ceilidhs. So, what are you going to play for us?
Well, I'm going to play a very sweaty... I'm going to play a couple of jigs. The first one, a jig that I have written, and I'm sure I've given it a name, but I can't actually remember when I was thinking about it earlier. And then I'm going to play a famous tune called Calliope House, written by Dave Richardson. And actually, when I was touring in America a few years ago, I met the Boys of the Loch. Dave Richardson was in the Boys of Loch, and I met the Boys of the Loch's agent, and who actually lived in Calliope House in Pennsylvania. So that's why it was written. So I'm going to play that, but I'll play my own tune first that might have a name. I'll get Andrew to tell me what it is later.
Get him a look at his book.
Not that we'll know where to buy it. Right, anyway, hold on, I need to press a button here. Oh, here we go.
Poor Simon's also on technical duties tonight as well.
Right, so this is two jigs. Hold on.
Quick. Yes! Obviously, otherwise I have to be in charge of the clapping. Lovely. Great tunes here, Simon. I was going to ask, can you hold your concertina up so we can see it? For those of you, tell us about the concertina, because it might be something that actually a few people don't know about.
Well, I think there's probably 3 different types of concertina. It was originally invented by a guy called Professor Wheatstone, who, as you can imagine, he also invented early forms of the keyboard. Many people might remember the Wheatstone Bridge at school, the resistance measurement. He invented that. He was a very clever man. This was, I think, was invented about 1825. This is a 1925 instrument I'm playing. It's beautiful. Wheatstone Aola. There's also, around a certain time, there was a German a concertina launched at the same time, and that's like the one they play in Ireland, but it's got a different note on each bellow. This has got the same note on each bellow. And then there's another kind of concertina called the duet concertina. But it's a beautiful instrument. It's very travel worthy, and I just love it. I really do.
Very handbag friendly as well.
Yeah, you should get one, Joy.
I know, I can fling that in my bag, ready for the night out.
You can do it while feeling the weather.
I mean, I'm going to need both hands for that, but I could work it. And I should have asked Simon, where are you in your beautifully frozen picture there?
I thought tonight I would go to the Arctic, because it's boiling here in Mcdougall, I have to say. Is that quite near Argyll? It's kind of nearer Argyll than the Arctic.
Do you have a pair of Argyll socks? We'd take that.
Well, no, but I think Rona Wilkie's granny knitted me some Argyll socks once.
Welcome to the area. You're one of us now.
I'm actually, on this Thursday, I'm heading to Spain for a festival.
Oh, wow.
I'm flying out on Thursday and coming back on Sunday. And I'm playing...
And will that be your first performance in Yonks?
In Yonks, yeah. And I'm only playing for 15 minutes, but it's perfect. I don't know what I'll be doing the rest of the time. Maybe sleeping, drinking red wine.
Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah. Oh, how lovely, though, to get away and actually do something. And do you have to quarantine on your way back for that?
No, because I'm old.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I've had my jags, but I still have to pay for something.
Yeah. As they say in Gaelic, Simon, "Chachicanúsh lehain." Old age doesn't come alone. And this time, at least, it's a nice wee bonus.
You said that to me the other day there. Absolutely.
Nisha, why don't you give us more tunes? Now you flashed as your concertina.
Yeah, I'm going to play a couple of reels for you. One of the benefits of organising things like the Scots Trad Music Awards and Hands of Trad TV is you get to write your own theme tunes. So the first tune is called Marvin Garnish, which is the theme tune of the Scots Trad Music Awards. And the second one is called My Friend Mark, and that's the theme tune of all the Hands Up for Trad afternoon shows and TV. Hold on, I need to click another button.
Taffel the heave. Thank you very much. Lovely to get to hear and see Simon, and we'll get him back in the second half for some more tunes. And it's also really nice to see how much the music is enjoyable to all of you also. So do keep saying hello and leaving all your messages for everybody. And I should say, I'm not very good at plugging our PayPal account, but as I said earlier, we did get a wee bit of money from Borshire Gaelic and Feasgar and Gael to do these Ceilidhs. But as always, if anybody would like to donate, and let's see what else we can do, then I think Simon, the musical and technical genius, is going to stick the link in the chat. And everybody who has been doing that up until now, thank you so much. We really appreciate everything that you've managed to do for us. And as you know, Taynuilt Ceilidhs are totally non-profit. Any pennies that we make, we give away to local community organisations and musicians. So the more money we get, the more we can support other people, which is lovely. Nisha, ha sin chin nisha to héid in sin Sherlum hín agus apar gyfil Màiri MacInnes gyfil I cwtirain a noch. Ha mi cyn sioch gybi tor gyn ioldoch idd maddi nich gynnwys rwcig agus hwcig I amnwyist jes san y pystal tua hai agus haid fi siein van y fai gymaog fwan I hi balnor a chwmyn. Ha mi smyniochig an yn ceir fichyd agus a gaz wel nôr sy'n haid fi siein agus symach clar a chwrimach cwdiach. Tjejin y sy'n ydyn Sherlum hín agus ha uafasach snog gyfili cwtirain. Fáiltiref do chéliad heilwyd jafad Irlainia.
Apeth, jíadach apeth Ceilidh. Joy, na chalama.
Ha ma fi mis clarst yn y ddiest.
Cwtira, agus gyda ha dilea sio bigan, is agos nam chwosyn, agus ha mi has, jíadach ha ma, jíadach efi clwyndion y hwlyg dynias, ha mi ffaich clwyndion andra. Trisha vor na chach meandra. It's been a long time since I've seen it and heard Andrew. He's grown up. He was a little boy when I last saw him.
Yes, because you used to teach us all singing at Slàinte in Oban when we were, I mean, maybe not a bit weird, but definitely younger.
That's right, that's going back quite a few years when my own two boys were wee as well, Joy. Yes, and it's lovely as well to see Lorne and to hear Alasdair's lovely voice. It really is a joy to hear you sing Alasdair. Ha chosnog na gua gat. I so hey, cwdiach Joy.
Oh, tapalef. I guess each way bicken ha made of a gradish hwlydyn je fad gyfil sy'n edrych fi chafwr ffog wasin eisiau ffat blian y gylie a chais na chylw hyn i'r fi'n ad a ha fitcher.
Wel, Chanel ha mi fi taingal, ha fi dyf y hwfs imydwch, is ag y trwta ha fi tachart, as y dhwyl, as yn arsyniach. Agus cwtiach, is ag y dylwch ciwl, niach ciwl, mae'r ha o'n hyn. A ha mi fi ffortynach, ha mi fi sein, a mi fi jyn bygan e television, agus e checus cwtiach, agus a sinach a fi gam chwman a dol, taing di year. Agus ha mi ddech de jachin sa chai va mi chicas ga kjolas agus va sin chotjeflichtje shach vi chicas is at vi den jelan agus vi chicas agus stuunje te vialu an an klas mar gebier ach loine ha go italialichtje.
Agus féime gyfel o giúntrin vi chiligachi cwdiachgers yn kjolas.
O cwtjera hene ha agus vi chiligachi Zet vi quite een goed schouwlig ha wat daar vliegen aan mijn door mijn soort is waar gewoon heb ik dag iets aan mijn hitte agus aan mijn dag is kan je keme door kan hoe het doen je gefeierd en is het huwels kan haatje gaan s'avonds je ga even bij school.
Ha cydieref. Agus get nach chael cwmys o'ch gein rydych yn y un efo yn dyríref. Ha sy'n fferach yn chael fforstnach gyfel yw colder ein Irlainia agus jonach o'r yn yoga o'r sgein.
Wel, gyda ha mi hi'n tolich gyfel mi sios gymryd o sy'n y ianw. Ha mi hi doran ha mi dol hein se ferry use ich mi by hwnna te dŵl an an nuist agus annig me henne wat a hole mi sé e fall traum dúlach agus ha Norsen in Shane ag Màiri MacDougall ha mar sanje gunni curlach an a barai agus sé áran a haun fer a vile dunne ha kui nach de fás a niane ha seo he regrets that he didn't marry her. He's gone off to sea, and she seemingly had a very posh mother who disapproved of the relationship. So, can you have me blasted fall droom dúlach? Fall droom dúlach, fall droom dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse. Feasgar sauri, smiki mach gede chauser, kohachedar mach maunsach, ai count einen glanjechen, fall traum dúlach, fall traum dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse. Hause fasse, samnische dalle healig, evelijn drie graun more, skrepper aan een gleeuwen jallige, val traum dúlach, val traum dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse. Sheet of arljamach, bachadach nacht of fasschien, ach stusse hiet jegase, wanneer hasch ich mi viljamanach, fall traum dúlach, fall traum dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse. Fashin naar suie aanse vaich, snor de herningse die takal, sanne wicht olaf kam hiamige, val traum dúlach, val traum dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse. An kuinach lechten korag, an leppi vikne klasach, an gulla hoek miakut, an juk am leon leadeches, val traum dúlach, val traum dúlach, haki af búie dúlach, Mcdougall in mollenainse.
Sata van nach cool me an toren sin, agus cóir grúm glán agus do gúcha bín a bheit ins bríos bheit riamh.
Ach, wel, ha dysgu cwtioch o'ch joy.
Nes e, fel yw ceidio gyda wysga sy'n.
Siag, agus, am diolch ag ar balach gymile, hw sai cyran chyrym y sio, haid i fi chod che, na chi.
Agus at ha mad i fiach yn i balnach am ôl. Rutination, cyddi mi cael gan y warach lun eich gysio cwtioch as y chat, leis gyfili idd imydach war y horstamach, agus siach yn calnoch ule. Ach, efelu, biach ag eid clarig sy'n bi i enaf fadus yn awn rydych?
Ha mi dochas, wel ha mi di fi dyn nhw rawsach idd orain se pican sgri agus ha mi dochas gybi am nhw'n i cyn biro ata gyfa mi steddas agus claru a chodig yn i ianw.
O, wel bi ors yn gylio'r ffea fyr sy'n am i gydioch. Sŵl na gafw or yn ile at aw sio?
Siwt, wel, fa mi bech ca pwrsti bial hein anoch agus se post unig yn hiedfort se feigen y pwrsti fa mi chickas gag fish an arain agus fa mi fiachan di bigant jechtri hort gan y sgoladan mae iein yn dolchas y fawn an arain fe hiwnata agus bryniad bedata agus gyda sy'n marc fi ha y twa hanach is ac yn gybegat bwyn i fedat cwrdd i fedat bwyn i fedat so mi dos gaif Mae'r eisiau blad, mae'r efo mysg na uist agus gybwg sy'n iddo fachad agus gybwg mahad y cwrp yn dat. Cwyw, sy'n agad mae'r gybwg y hyd ffort agus y dan y fer y ddysg or y fwn ac yn y gwyl fer y ddysg y niwsig mi fo mae hynna fad ha agus ha fer mi iddo chanel pwntyn itio ddeg di bedata ach di ffwnie. So it's just a wee sort of a set of pushtibial. It's about planting potatoes, and the last reel has nothing to do with potatoes whatsoever. It's to do with baking bunnocks and putting them in a big chest. So can you? Fiach be sure food you call them. Okay. Could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, hey, chin. Could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, hey, chin. Could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, hey, chin. Could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, hey, chin. Boy, you been that, boy, you been that, boy, you been that, hey, chin. Boy, you been that, boy, you been that, boy, you been that, hey, chin. Boy, you been that, boy, you been that, boy, you been that, hey, chin. Could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, hey, chin. Arabon na knögul, arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögul, hej jokalavandat. Arabon na knögul, arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögul, hej jokalavandat. Arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, hej jokalavandat. Arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, hej jokalavandat. Khalik miun dopper o khalik miun drai, khalik miun dopper hej jokalavandat. Khalik miun dopper o khalik miun drai, khalik miun dopper hej jokalavandat. Arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, hej jokalavandat. Arabon na knögrai, arabon na knögrai, hej jokalavandat. Khalik miun mion doppero chalik mion draio chalik mion dopperejo calavandat chalik mion doppero chalik mion draio chalik mion dopperejo calavandat Cursig ischte vor mis coit bonnig vom magan Cursig ischte vinja mi his bickus mischte mi vian Cursig ischte vor mis coit bonnig vom magan Cursig ischte vinja mi his bickus mischte mi vian Cursig Ishchevinyami, Kursihishchevinyami, Kursihishchevinyami, his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevinyami, 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 his biggest Mr. Minivian, Kursihishchevormi, Koit Bonnie for my yam, Kursihishchevinyami, his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevormi, Koit Bonnie for my yam, Kursihishchevinyami, his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevinyami, 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 his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevinyami, 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 his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevormi, Koit Bonnie for my yam, Kursihishchevinyami, his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevormi, Koit Bonnie for my yam, Kursihishchevinyami, his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevinyami, 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 his biggest Mr. Mivian, Kursihishchevinyami, 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 his biggest Mr. Mivian.
You. Can you beat their Joe first appeal? You really cannot beat a cracking set of first appeal, and that was a fab one from Maddie. We will return to her. We're going to get her to give us more songs, but Harshin, we've kind of reached our break. I mean, we don't stop. We keep the fun rolling on, but just a wee reminder, Hashiv Shaw, a géisteach rí Ceilidh Taynuilt Bia Loine, agus apar gofil sin tolachseach gofil sibh nar cuideach agus gofil sin ule a fiachin the ceol can and agus cultúr na Gaeilge a bhrosnach ag Loine get a sin a GNF fiúr fór Rishanam der visse sabel shagain ule chilieg on the derivative. So we are loving holding our virtual Taynuilt Ceilidhs, and thank you once more for coming and joining us every month. Obviously we'd love to get back in person, and as soon as we can do so, we'll be doing that. So this is the last of our virtual Ceilidhs in this wee series. We're going to take a while to have a look at everything, give Simon a wee while to also recover as he does all the hard work, and then we'll just see what's going to be possible. Will we be able to meet back up in person, or will we be staying online? But do not worry, the music will not stop, and we're going to keep supporting the arts in Argyll as much as possible. We're going back to the start now, and it's lovely that we get Lorne to come back then and give us something else. Last time I was just thrilled to see what new sounds he's going to come out with, but before he gets onto the music, I was saying earlier, Lorne, you've been really busy composing and performing for film and TV. Tell us a wee bit about that.
Well, sadly, not a lot of composing. Usually playing other people's tunes, but that's good.
Yeah,
it's been good fun. Yeah, I've been really lucky that I've sort of gotten involved in that, and through word of mouth, other composers learn about me, and I get to do lots of cool stuff. I actually managed to do two things, two movies from my bedroom during lockdown, which was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, if I could go back and tell a 15-year-old me in this bedroom I'm doing stuff for for a Hollywood movie, it would have been, I wouldn't have believed it. But yeah, I did a couple of films, one called Songbird, which is actually about the pandemic. It's not a film I would recommend watching if you're in any way anxious about COVID. And then another much more happier film called Finding Ohana, which is on Netflix just now. And,
oh wow.
The content, the film has nothing to do with Scotland or pipes. It's just the opening. One of the studios that made the film, their boss man has got a Scottish background, so he wanted the logo to come up and there to be the sound of pipes. So that was two of the things that I managed to do during lockdown for Hollywood.
And you've been involved in some amazing projects. What has been your favourite one?
Doctor Who. It's got to be Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Which is, as you know fine well, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and 8 years ago, actually, at the weekend there, I got to go down to the Albert Hall in London and perform at the 50th anniversary concert, which was just amazing. And I was just looking at the lack of photos that I took, or lack of anything that I took. So I went down there, I thought, right, I'm going to be a professional up until the last note, and then because these guys are going to be like us musicians, they're going to want to go and party afterwards, and then I can socialise and take selfies then No.
No!
once the game was done, they were out the door. That was it.
Aw.
It was just me sitting waiting in a train for 5 hours.
Maybe they were too shy to ask for a picture with the world famous Lorne MacDougall, and that was where you went wrong.
Aye, that's a nice thought, but I don't think it's a true one.
Oh, I mean, what an opportunity though to get to be involved with something that you're so passionate about yourself.
Aye, yeah, blew my mind a wee bit. It took quite a while to recover. Again, just coming off the train, I was teaching in a piping school with about 4 beginners the next day. Literally, the morning after coming off the sleeper train, straight into the other end of it, and just thinking,
Yeah. And that is the wonder of anybody that's involved in music. You know, you have these moments where you're like, oh my goodness, I've made it. And then the next day, you know, your ego is kept in check by that crashing reality. So are you going to do anything Doctor Who for us now, themed, or where are you taking us to now with your
You can't,
fancy
unfortunately.
chanter?
I've tried the Doctor Who theme many times in pipes. It's just doesn't quite fit yet. But maybe my fancy chanter will manage it. But no, I'm taking you back to Argyll. I'm taking you to Jura.
Lovely.
And a slow air that I wrote when I was over teaching at a Fèis on Jura. Which again, it's improvised. I seem to do these improvised pieces quite a lot now, but it does mean that I can get away with quite a lot. And it's a tune that I wrote just looking out over what's called Small Isles Bay, which is next to Village Hall. And again, just that sort of way that people do these days. You just sort of start recording yourself and see what comes out. Go back and listen months later, sometimes years later, and realise there might have been something good there. So that's exactly what's happened here, hopefully. And you will hear the built-in reverb on this digital chapter for this one. Well, I dropped it. Did you hear me drop it there?
Yeah.
So maybe you won't hear anything, but we'll see how this goes. There's no dignified way of stopping these just now. There is a foot pedal for them, but I've lost the cable. Usually I could just put my foot down, but I've just got to rush it over. So sorry that killed me.
I like it. But you know, it's funny, since we've been doing these live online Ceilidhs, there are always these kind of maybe slightly clunky bits, but to me, I just think it proves that we're doing them live.
Exactly,
and that everybody is at home doing the best that they can. That was lovely. Tap a live, Lord. So I'm going to get Simon, my wee technical slave here, to do a plug for your website in the chat. But is there anything that you would like to plug or tell us about, or any exciting things you want to do before we carry on?
Just the Pipe and Live concert. The Pipe and Live, like I said, it's Trice is the name of the band, so it's 10 pipers along with the Canaris Quintet. So in this case, the 10 pipers have been written. They've had tunes written for them by non-pipers.
Oh wow!
Including one from Argyll. So Donald Shaw's written us a great set of tunes. Other composers are also Patsy Reed, Mike Vass, Martin Green, and Donald, and I always forget someone. I always do this when I try and mention the name of the 10 pipers in the band as well.
There's nothing worse when your names are my nemesis. You remember everything and somebody puts you on your spot.
This flat is covered in music from these guys, and I've forgotten the fifth one. I'll remember later. I'll shout it out in my sleep probably. So that's the next most important thing that's coming up. Really, that's on the 13th of August. And like I said, if you can get to the actual gig, that'll be lovely. But if not, it's all going to be streamed online.
Great. It's actually really nice to see this kind of hybrid event happening where if you are able to make it, wonderful. But I think one sort of silver lining of the pandemic has been events like this where people who wouldn't normally maybe get to a Ceilidh or a concert or an event are able to go along. And I know at Celtic Connections this year, I probably watched more than I would normally because I was at home and I was able to access it online at a time that suited me. It was great.
Exactly. Yeah, it is good. Just give me 1 wee second.
I'll tell everybody, well, it's definitely worth checking out Trice. But if you did watch the Celtic Connection opening concert, they were the pipers coming in at the beginning, and I bawled when I saw them. I was howling watching the
we did as well, because when we
pipers.
did that, we thought things were getting better. We did that. October is when we actually recorded that. October, November, and then we're watching it back in January.
It was
Rachel Newton is the other
great.
composer.
Oh, lovely. Oh, well, good luck for that. We'll see if we can't get there in person, we'll definitely be watching online.
Yeah.
So shoot my hat, Lorna, before you go, give us another wee, I mean, you're not going, we're going to make you stay to the end and listen to everybody. Before you disappear off our screen right now, what are you going to play us?
This is the Helm, Rathlin Island, the Dunkeld announcement, and then a Whiskey Kiss.
Píparach lé a bheit sin bhil Lorne MacDougall. Oh, amazing piping there for Lorne. Lorne is definitely one of our best pipers out there. And I'm not saying that just because he's from Argyll. It was wonderful. And yeah, we'll have to have a proper catch up soon, Lorne, in person, because it's been far too long.
Please.
And do make sure you book yourself in for a Taynuilt Ceilidh in person when we come back to be, because you're definitely on the list. This a garden tapalaimse a hast a fakel or again. Oh, now somebody is asking for the PayPal link. Lorraine, I will get my manservant Simon to send that in. I used to try and put these things in the chat myself, so I've become so lazy over these last couple of months. I've been ruined having somebody there to do that for me. But yeah, anybody, as always, if you do feel like you'd like to give anything towards the Taynuilt Ceilidhs, just to help us continue to run, to pay musicians and to support cultural events in the area, that would be more than appreciated. As I've said before, it's a totally non-profit organisation run by a volunteer committee who are wonderful. They do such a power of work. They're a very small committee, but they make it happen, and I think it's 75 years plus the Taynuilt Ceilidhs have been running for now, and that doesn't happen without a group of very diligent volunteers. So Kiat Mila Tangev, thank you all very much. Hashed the Lente Oran Gita, Lish the Horin, I guess, ha Gerkel Dom Gorst, I guess had to comes into the show. So I was having a wee think what would be a good song to sing this time round. And as I was saying earlier, literally on the day that the UK went into full lockdown, Andrew and I released our duo album called Geesh. So we haven't performed anything together from it at all, practically. And what was quite nice was not only getting to perform obviously together, but looking at songs that maybe I hadn't sung before. And one of my favourite songs I've heard sung for years is Avaira Talk. It's got lots of different names, Reen and Dúil, and a very traditional song with many variations. You have a young man living in his widowed mother's estate, and he's still young. He hasn't inherited the Liepiarch, that father's estate, but he's fallen in love with Margaret, Avaira Talk, that she's a servant girl. And I remember hearing the story of this when I was young. The mother does not like Màiri at all, so she hatches a plan to fix the situation. And I still think it's one of the most traumatic stories that you will hear in Gaelic song. She sends Màiri out to the pool to bathe, and at the same time sends her son out to hunt for duck. So when he passes the pool, he sees a flash of white and he fires and discovers that he has in fact killed Màiri, his love, instead of a duck. And I remember hearing that when I was young and just being traumatized by this awful story. But in typical Gaelic fashion, I think it's got one of the most beautiful lyrics. And I know it's a very common song that's sung at mods, and lots of people out there probably do know it. So if you do know Avaira Talk and want to revel in the horror with me, please do. If I'd talks the train malone, she callag for yoch good soul sevatin hun nan jerke khuf nan dulyakan. Good gedem soul sevatin hun nan jerke khuf nan dulyakan. Good gilugereich nan snjach geban. Could they arch namonien. Good gilhugreit nan snjach geban. Could they arch namonien. Good im of rein kauf. Nuer chawak nan tunak mi. Good im of rein kauf. Nuer chawak nan tunak mi. Snuer ranig mi through the gauge that rannig me lean your hoof sound van Mcdougall through the gauge and chàirdean lean your hoof chàirdean and chàirdean lean your hoof chàirdean Lepi war channaich mit hav Sed lepi ars chachadat mi lepi war channaich mit hav Sed lepi ars chachadat mi Min juice and krach galmein a Ceilidh saturaman Min juice and krach galmein a Ceilidh saturaman Orin and dúf cymrym my hiel Charamiriaf sa chonart sio Orin and dúf cymrym my hiel Charamiriaf sa chonart sio Avaira Talk rain malan Stugag fovrons Vovulat me Thank you. Ha, ryd again mynd a horain here fi ha gorted yn plan. I do always feel in Gaelic, the sadder they are, the more beautiful they are. And yeah, it's always nice to get to return to one you haven't sung for a wee while. Nisha, Jig asked me in it. Got to be honest, I didn't really plan what I was going to sing. I was supposed to, and I started talking to people. So I'll finish off with something maybe a wee bit more sprightly to get us going. And again, I'll stick with our Gael and the kind of Ceilidh type of song. It is nice to get to sing along. Even like this, I know I can't see everybody at home, but I can see everybody that's in our call. And it's wonderful when you do one with a chorus because you can see people swaying and singing along. So this is a nice simple one. The chorus is all vocable, so even if you're not a Gaelic singer, you can join in. I guess Skeindjach and Nanich and two of us Akav, Hod Mahori, Har Gunai, Joe Oren Ceilidh. One of these ones that everybody knows. Again, it sounds quite upbeat, but has got quite a sad story, taking your farewells to Gunna, and actually you find out in that boat they have a coffin with his love in said coffin that has been nailed tightly shut. So although it starts in quite a positive note, as so many Gaelic songs, it does go a wee bit downhill as the song progresses, but even still, it's got a nice wee jaunty chorus that I do enjoy. So, nach tuk sé for guhin cúideach, I can say. Hod ma hori har gunai gummeled na morvian ukod a lord of huva manian down voyach ukod a lord of huva faden clunyed gach bruach of Yaldain who called the Lord of Huvaho Manian down Eiste chulchaig a dúnach sa tarneach God a Lord a húva ho Manian down voyach God a Lord a húva ho Strúg nach Rami sanjadas Mcdougall Màiri Tiawas God a Lord a húva ho Manian down voyach God a Lord a húva ho Manian down voyach God a Lord a húva ho. Congratulations. And yeah, lovely to see you in the chat. You are joining in at home, singing along with a good harmony or two. I'm even seeing here from Colin. That's what we're looking for. And hello as well to Brian Innes, who I think is probably one of the newer names that I've seen who is listening in from Largs. We've got a wee Largs contingent actually listening in. Nisha, Chili Sheen Ceilidhs, Nisha. We're going to go back to Andrew. And Andrew, you may as well tell us, Alasdair had mentioned a wee bit earlier about your recent project that he was involved with. So why don't you give that wee plug right now?
Well, it's 1,500 years since the birth of St. Columba. Mm-hmm. And so I got a wee commission from Charts in Gaelic to write a new arrangement of his hymn.
Why Chalamhilia?
I was getting there to kind of celebrate his birth. So obviously, like, this seemed fine, and then kind of because I applied to them when lockdown was just finishing. So I thought this would be a nice kind of coming out of lockdown project, write it in lockdown and then emerge with people and be, bask in the glorious sound of singing. And then we went back into lockdown. And unlike Simon, I'm not the most technologically blessed. I think, how they say the older you get, the more you turn into your parents. I think that's happening with me with technology. And like recording these things, but like they kept just saying, oh, well, you can do a wee recording on your phone. I thought, so eventually we went into the studio and we recorded it all separately. And Alasdair was 2 tenors, Joy was 6 women.
Thank you.
And Ian McLean was 2 basses. And and so it's now all recorded and been videoed, and hopefully any day now we should be able to share it with you.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it was just lovely to, obviously we all recorded our vocal parts separately, but it was nice to even get to see other singers again. And, we weren't actually singing in person, but just to be amongst that. And in the beautiful setting of St. Aloysius Church in Glasgow, which is probably one of the most glorious venues you've ever been in.
Yeah, just to do something actually live and a little bit creative, because online stuff's great, but I think after, a year or 18 months and 2 years, it starts to, the shine comes off a little after a while,
Yeah, and there have been a lot of projects that have been, been unveiled in the last wee while celebrating this Bliana Chalamhilia, the year of Chalamhilia. So it's worth checking out online. There's lots of stuff to be found there. And Loi Chalamhilia, in its new choral version, will at some point get its debut.
Any day now, hopefully.
Any day now, we hope. The wonder of lockdown. I mean, it could be any day. It could be in a few months. Who knows? We just have to play by ear. So I'm guessing no Chalamhilia then for us tonight.
Well, no, I wasn't planning on it. I mean, there's obviously a nicer Gael link. No, when I was at home a few weeks ago, and Mum kind of said, well, I'm just doing the poster, so I'm just going to put down Andrew piano and harp. And I was like, yes. So I thought I'd play a little bit of harp, because it has been a while.
I was going to say, when was the last time you played your harp?
I don't know. I mean, I had to put several new strings on, so it's about, 6 strings ago, I think. So yes, I'm going to play a wee tune, possibly 2, but I don't want to set it up in case actually I get to the end of one. I'm like, do you know what? Quit while you're ahead.
Quit while you're ahead.
The heart's willing, but the fingers are weak. So I'm going to do a wee march. Again, I learnt in the fiddle. I mean, that was definitely a case of the heart being willing, but the fingers. So,
neither Andrew nor I were talented fiddle players.
We were not blessed on the fiddle.
No.
It's I Dream Meldrum's Welcome to Bonaccord.
Great. And whilst you go get that set up, I'll just say to everybody else, if you can behold the tallest clàrsach in the world on the biggest stool and stand ever. And also probably in the warmest room known to man, which we know instruments love. This must be very traumatic to Andrew with perfect pitch.
The heat and a new string. I think that's as good as it's going to get.
Great tunes on the harp there. You managed to get to tune number 2.
I did. I mean, I was going to do it again, and then I got halfway through. I was like, no, just, you know, just. I think that's quite enough of that.
So what was it called?
It was one that I wrote when I was at school, because remember we were used to go to the clàrsach groups.
Yes.
And it was for Carol Smith, who was in my Gaelic class, and she was trying to leave. And I was like, if I just write you a tune, you've got to stay to learn it. So they kept her another year in the Clàrsach Society class.
There's basically a long history of Andrew and I going to music classes. Andrew being very good because he practiced, and me being terrible because I didn't.
Because you actually started before me.
I did a practice though. I quite like the performing, less over the practicing, which is why Andrew is now a doctor of music and I have my grade 5 theory. So I was just thinking that actually, as you were playing, it's quite nice that we're seeing more male harpers actually now. I mean, we've got Neil Wood in Glasgow and Paddy Callahan, who we had on the programme a couple of weeks ago. He also plays the harp.
I think we'd do a lovely duet.
I would love to see that. I'm putting my vote in now for an Andrew and Paddy harp duet.
Yeah, I think it's great now that kind of like most instruments have lost kind of any sort of gender stereotype. So you're seeing like boys playing the flute and kind of girls playing drumming and playing pipes and whatever, and kind of there's no problem now.
Yeah, it's great. And the more of that is what we think.
Exactly.
So are you going to give us something on the piano now to finish up?
I thought I'd give you a nice Argyle song, and then I realised that as I was sat there, I was like, actually, someone's probably going to sing it. You know when you're doing that, should just play it in the first half.
Yes.
So again, it's one of my favourite Ceilidh songs that I'm stalling. I've got the name again. You were like, it's one of my favourite Ceilidh songs. But the trouble is, like with a lot of Ceilidh songs, you only know the chorus and half a verse.
Yeah.
So you belt out the chorus, it's the sorry life problem, and then you get to the verse. And this is one of these songs where I can maybe do a chorus and a bit of a verse.
Are you singing as well as playing?
No.
Oh.
But you can
all
sing
those years
along.
of mod training gone down the pan.
I know. Oh, yeah. it's a Glán Bhealachúil.
Oh, lovely. Oh, but we will all be singing along at home.
It's also a little bit high for me, if I'm honest. You know?
Oh well, you can all sing along to Glán Bhealachúil if you know it. Lovely. I can see all the singers were swaying, singing away to that one there.
It's rare you get to perform without shoes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
It's
dream.
the things that you realise, you sit down and look at your feet and you're like, oh, I could have even put a pair of socks or something on, you know.
Not anymore. I was just thinking there, obviously, I'm sure everybody out there knows that So, sort of. But when we were growing up, I'm older, I'll have to admit it, but there was me, Andrew, and we've got two other brothers, Callum and Rory, and we were brought up going to the Taynuilt Ceilidhs, and I am the oldest, so obviously my stories are all about poor me. I basically was in the workhouse, but it's true, when we went to the Taynuilt Ceilidhs, I was there flogging raffle tickets, taking the money at the door, and Andrew was in another room getting special pancakes and jam in tiny wee jars taken to him from all the old ladies who loved to feed him, and I never got one pancake.
It was true,
So-
Caroline did make the best pancakes and jam, and I got my own little plate with the pancakes with the cling film, and then my own jam, and then no one was allowed to touch my pancakes or jam. But it got to the point where like I kept eating too many, so then more would appear the next week.
And the Caroline and Margaret fight of who had the best scones, I mean, went down in history.
You didn't eat for several hours before going, you know.
But unfortunately, no scones, no pancakes when you do it virtually.
No,
but
often sell some raffle tickets.
Yes, yeah. So you have to put you to work in that way. Oh well, thank you for coming in. It is always nice to get to see get to hear some music and get to see Andrew again. It's been so long since I've spoken to him, but hopefully when we do get to do it again in person, we'll actually get to perform in person one of
That'd be
these
nice.
days. Yeah.
The Lost album.
One of these times. And very nice to see so many people that are enjoying the music at home, which is great. That's why we're here. That's what we want. Agus cymryd sy'n o'r leis y chiol, agus leis na hor ein yn tyrru sio, ti leis sy'n afwle, agus sy'n sy'n o'r yn ywga ila fo Alasdair Mcdougall fan. Siwad Alasdair, ti hacat gain yn eisiau?
Wel, da'n gwrdd ar iddi, cam bydd o liach yn eir fferdyn hor yn ywg i'n macfadyn, fer y fwynig da bala fwling an y mwle. Agus, this is one of John Ian McFadden, John McFadden's songs from Ballyvulling in Mull. It's called He Mi Mulle Nimbian Fuer, or He Mi Voam Fatavoam. You might know it as He Mi Voam Fatavoam. It's a song about, he is imagining himself, he spent most of his life in Glasgow, and he's imagining himself in this song in a boat going round up the Sound of Mull and round the top and into Loch Lewing or Loch Screeting, where he was born and brought up. So you'll recognise a few of the place names here, I think, if you're familiar with Mull place names. There's 14 in total, so maybe folk can put them into the chat if you hear a Mull place name that you recognise. He mi voam fattevoam, he mi voam bimurlan, he mi mullen mjaun for fattevoam harental, fattevoam harental. Ski mi mulach nem jaun mor, aun sano gatinyai, den sarste you ngor, spatan kyo, bar, fattevoam harental. Si mi litir tergil, gas concern and love, si mi ruchka gedrich, si min kern falla, fattevoam harental. Si mi trisinish en saun, lunk haul krekel hart, hi mi kalakeri kring, spailsk maril an trailan, fattevoam harental. Si mi prailech gli, Chi shach sian Belach lewing yelani Anye vini murtrai Fatte wam harental Ski mi nativ Hi mi chroch Rishna chwal ich min hal Sgyfel cager awn flwys O gach broich eith na Fadde wam harental Gwyl cager cadrefin Ignis nwyd y sar Gyda pisac am misgynch Fiwms nach tiliad gabrach Fadde wam harental Hi mi wam Fadde wam Hi mi wam rimwlan Hi mi mwlen biawn ffwr Fadde wam harental Fadde wam harental Thank you.
Van mijn fiach geen alles de dag door mee hele verachke. Van mijn kunt ik maar horen de chance. Biach hem nu pikken rounds gehiën en voor een minuutje ule. Ik guess has je eet waardig lean Whyte a goed kujach is tegen een horig maar ik doe je se wie ik heb aan een barach. Mcdougall. So we have stuck the link to Whyte, Alasdair's fantastic project, in the chat. So if anybody wants to hear some Gaelic music and maybe a more new and out there style, it's wonderful. Definitely go check it out. It's more than worth getting yourself a copy if you don't already. I guess I'm very can give up a hoon geisha the hula the Alasdair. I had Jeha Rotsa in the shema. So become Viasen Rihian.
Wel, y bryn i'r Whyte ha sy'n diolch yn ymys lewer o'r siwgr. Jen, wrth cwt sy'n y horing, efyr y chlair mwy gyrig, na ffachgil as yn horing, agos cwt diolch y fan y jol y chwych y chwys sy'n i'r arst o'n ddar gyrach as y farst yn nŵri. Diolch yn dda sy'n grach yn fa sy'n diolch lain y siach na siach gyn y siach da chwyrst. Wel, Chwysyn i'r arstwr ar an y glasgla a chadwr sy'n coram hosht de gadges y biela gymig hosht nach ach maim sy'n yn dynnu my fyd y jolach wych agos ha sy'n has yn dŵl sy'n dolchus gyfa sy'n coram hosht i'r chwyrst ach hi sy'n cyliw cwt sy'n yn sgript dyn jolach wych has y lewr sio agos dan ŵr na ga rhain mi ys ŵr dan lewr.
I guess, coas a yf sy'n lifreach jyn lior sy'n?
Ha sy'n yw'n croen i'ch yr fwc ag dyrig y lwnastal ag feisn yn tri lochan a'n ystran yn gyn.
O, fac yn eidaf.
Commission fysyd y larach lun ys ygil. Stang fwr ys am sy'n hwcal.
Oh, well, cwbaf clwas rwy clasnach a char sy'n a fi gyd jach gybi, well, fi iacam se, cyw ar yn liorau, agos fi gyd jach yn cael gytor gyd i'r sy'n, sy'n jydig y lwn ystol, fi rwtygyn a chi'n y gas ciannoch. Sŵl, Alasdair, y gafw o'r yn eile at haw sio?
Wel, ysgwyl mae hyn efo'r sy'n eistioch. Sy'n mi gybach o'r o'r yn ysafar yn ei gael, agos fiach am i'r rydyn y hor yn i'r ein y dochter rwyd, mlychio i'n Mcdougall a rahwyd. As of our own, so I better try and keep Granny happy and sing a song from Marvin here. This is one of my favourite love songs. It was composed by Dr. John McLaughlin of Rahoy in the 19th century. Shine and Doan Cho is the name of it, so please do join in at home if you know the words. Sein doan shau kiriu dam khalin doich o garwi es chereke kroyen Stein je koalen Kalin var boi her loim chri Sound je march oi heel haling Uwa my reise le bat na smooch Alwoi kim dol guchis na beerlijk Sami fo ish laner vekansun Shine and don shau kiriu Dum khalin doich o gari Es chereke kroyen Ses dunje kwalen Kalin var boi her loim chri Saun le papanen Ryan laje Snengøyen prasa Dera kastri Feasgar stjuruf Gwatir lor Sejene juli god jurigis Shine on shau kiriu Dum khalin doich o garwi Es chereke kroyen Ses dunje koalen Kalin var boi her loim chri Had the heart blast the bilum Pogus milche na millen reich A tanal churi a marn holan Tinyerig an tu chanot vunyalkein Shine on shau kiriu Dum khalin doich o garwi Es chereke kroyen Ses dunje koalen Kalin var boi her loim chri
Oh, aflef. O'r yn bria sin, as y fod o hynny. I guess I'm a geisio go big granny in her toy. Without a doubt, your granny will be very chuffed. You can't go wrong with a good Morven song. Nes eich harsyn ha uwas o'ch stoc. Gyfyr sif coldrain yn noch son Ceilidh Highlands Lorne ile. Oh, Crina she sing thank you, lovely Alasdair. Love Crina. You can't go wrong with a good bit of granny feedback, can you? But we are here online. We're loving just seeing everybody saying hello and hearing what you're listening for. And as I was saying earlier, what's for me particularly special today is we get poor Simon to step in front of his fancy virtual background there, get his concertina out and give us a few tunes as well. So, Simon, before we kick off, what have you got for us this time round? Now, Simon, we can't hear you, and you are in charge of technology, so you're going to have to press the buttons.
Yeah, I meant that, though. I just wanted to check that you were...
Check I was paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just start off with an air, and it's an air... Robert Burns, My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. A few years ago, I felt it needed a new tune, so I wrote one. Not many people have thought that, but someone's got it. So I'll play it now.
Hey, Sam, you have to hit the button for your own applause
Oh
here.
man, hold on. There is only one for that.
Yeah. Lovely. Now, obviously, you're very busy with Hands Up for Trad and doing so many amazing projects. Are there any that you're allowed to talk about that you could tell us about right now? Anything exciting coming up?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't know. It's just, there's always stuff going on, as you know, Joy. You know, it's always very exciting. I think we're just, basically, the next big thing that's coming up is the Scots Language Awards on 11th September. And hopefully in Dundee.
Oh, in person?
In person, which will be really exciting at the Caird Hall and the Marriott Hall within the Caird Hall. And that's a great night, and we've got lots of Scots writers and poets coming along. And we've got Ellie Beaton from Aberdeenshire. She's going to be singing, and some other people singing, and it's just a great night. It's just, when we started it a couple of years ago, it was like the very first Scots Trad Music Awards back in 2003, when people were just coming together and hanging out really for the first time and celebrating Scots, or as it was in trad music in these days. It's a great event. I really can't wait to see people.
Yeah. And it's amazing seeing the revival in Scots, and particularly it feels like in the last few years, young people in particular are using social media to use Scots, to promote Scots. And, you know, obviously coming from a Gaelic background, we're all for minority languages and for people being able to speak what means something to them in the way that, you know, is linked to their heritage and their culture.
Well, I mean, it's interesting actually. I mean, if you go by the census, Scots is not a minority language in any way. It's spoken by at least a third of the population. It's whether it's people often go, it's slang, and it's not slang, it's language. And actually, the best description I heard of Scots once is a friend of mine, John Moran from the brilliant band Deaf Shepherd, and he said Scots and English are both dialects of Old English. And it's very true. And the other thing is, nobody ever complains that Swedish and Norwegian are not languages. And actually, they both can all understand each other absolutely fine. And it's only here that they try to beat everybody down by saying stuff's not a language. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, and the more you can do to promote and celebrate your local heritage and how you speak, where you come from, the better. From our perspective, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That's who we are.
Okay, definitely. Oh, well, good my Slàinte. Good luck with that. And I mean, very soon you're going to be presenting all these in both Scots and Gaelic yourself with the huge progress that you're making.
Absolutely.
But I am very impressed, genuinely, because it's hard to learn a language as an adult, and you're making a real go of it.
I'm having a great
time.
I've actually never, even at school, I gave up on French. And actually, I think I've done more with my good old Duolingo than I've done in any language. So I'm enjoying it. And I know my mum's loving it too, and she's listening. So hi, mum.
Oh, see, this is what we want. We want the mum shout-outs, we want the granny shout-outs, more of that. Siúd Mahahim, you're going to give us something else on the concertina.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an Irish hornpipe called Madame Bonaparte. And then I'm going to play James Hill's hornpipe, the Hawk in D&E. And of course, James Hill was the fiddler from Dundee. He moved to Newcastle, so there's a wee Dundee link. Oh, I press the right button, Simon. Hey!
Woohoo! Yeah. Oh my goodness. I didn't know the concertina had that many notes.
Nor did I.
Poor Simon's really gonna need to lie down in the darkened room after this. Taynuilt Ceilidh, thank you so much for coming and playing for us. That was really lovely. And if anybody would like to learn more about the concertina, I'm sure Simon can send you in all the right directions of where to learn. Nish chàirdean, I'm going to just spend 2 seconds. I know that the time is running on, but to say, I think I have my new favourite comment on our Facebook page from Sandy Brodie from Campbellton, who sings in the GG Gaelic Choir, who is saying hello from the Park Bar. Now, if that's not multitasking, I don't know what is. Short of Sand, if you could just get the round in, well, I mean, we might not make it, but we'll see what we can do. Nish chàirdean, ha sinden haster akel again, agus holde sin betrai le orin vriagerirs mar sin skin jak vel fatachorn ulle orin nuga ille ein for vadi nicht genus. Short of vadi, do you hack it again in the show into the show?
Sure. Well, ha, va mis munchus, mis sy yn y hos yn y gra, han y hor yn palche ar y gael moch. Agus yn y gra yn hyn. Yn y gra, mynd am hwysdioch boch gysio. Ac jo, ha dy ddifirli, dydach sorich dy mag. Agus, a dor yn himi fwym ffat y fwym Alasdair. Ha, sgwynach yn mynd hyn yn y sgoliar na manig. Agus fi ca hyn agus ha hola mi ddi hyn cho dydach o byddi a si daldain dydach aldain agus na cwtach ha na rannan y farach ha choracan i'ch gan a tri a cha gori yn y rannan y chleinjan fa si dydach fa sgonial ca yw ha ba mi smynnych ag adoran, mae'r faw hen joy, agos fwyna tri ac si lam fwlychyn. Agos ha ferach am sio, ha iwsich mi fo sein brahad me henad yn y sian i fwyliad. A Weisen was down a cocker, agus va goo it lay hike, agus va oran ikke, agus had ik met tarsing is a jeravoran show ha klar va de klarig ak Mcdougall. Agus she doran haun she mim huinam anar tulich vahich. Agus sharna ga skdigle salje kameran aranjach. Agus mar sin ha mi dydych yr sons, dydych torsach o'i lysyn iersyn cwyw. Mim hyn am anar tulich vaich mi gael arans chachi chaliwm moch di yn gani mar chwaich yn maen chich Is more and shalai gedal gagarun chacheje ganistonyach kaik smani hirejach gampiar chush smas talatini gerpikanye Lei a haiad of gera Chinyara masur Dollis marchanach Njop dejen anarch Njos njach gavarich Gandal galar Dag ruair ac hana Mar chyr an mengan Stohwlig ar amfialwch Gynnig diaf gyn sga Ham asyad hydyn Ar chwawn yn dynia Siegag mi Och o fat o drai Ach I kledyn Had e gwaith gynnig mi Syganyan ygynia Gym ffai mi mas Mish moike karan tamil gorch Nish chami janach ed kindjen glich Geperan agus gesolas Chanter sjal eden doch huchenisch Nicht glach gem schalte Màiri fatjaler Ad hamohalas Nicht die chech Is hich min kallet ut Doch all ich vaich Spin mi mar smearich A schein lepjech Jonas,
Oh, wat is Ydych, sath o nach cwld am yn dod yn sy'n ach, sech o erachgal ys cwch gach, fair iaf.
Ha bartach gyda ha gydach ed le sorich joy ha dainach gas yn oran agos gydach y miawrach ag a hen mar y fan a oge agos chogorach agos ha began dy gluch gas y chynydd Ar yn ula ham yn dochus. A wee bit of wisdom doesn't go amiss.
We're all hoping for a wee bit of that.
Yes.
Well, Y faddi apad gyda tlach gawn y fi geisio grwchtyr i eis. Agus am i'n dochus gyfel o'r yn eile hast.
Wel, ha mi lan yn y pwysau, mi gradd am hyn sydd o'ch sons mae'r ha se ceili a hawns gyfel dŵnia, iddyn chi hahar na geisdiach sy'n ysmwynjan. Han y hor yn ysad mae ein gŵl had tarniach ach am ysmwynjach ac sy'n ffeimach at beth am dysbiolwch cwtioch.
Gyderaw.
Okay. Gleva, so shaku she figin horan she jigahan. It's some mouth music again that I'd like a set of mouth music to sing, and it's Bottom and More my hasn't big. And the story behind that was when my sister Penny, when she was a wee girl, she used to, as children do, they love wearing adult shoes, all kinds of Wellingtons and whatnot. So this one is the red welly, really. It's after, it's really for her. Agus an orshin ha berlim hinke bedig an jela maadach jina hidaken and bot die chua as a vin. Agus ha mi lan hinjach gewil she ule olach agus nach shing she call them. Bottom and more, bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bottom and more, and he really get cold thick. Bottom and more, bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bottom and more, and he really get cold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and really me thousand in gold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and bottom and more, my hasn't big. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and really me thousand in gold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bottom and more, bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bottom and more, and he really get cold thick. Bottom and more, bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bottom and more, and he really get cold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and really me thousand in gold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and bottom and more, my hasn't big. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and really me thousand in gold thick. Really me thousand me shen in dar, and bottom and more, my hasn't big. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail maadach jene hedaken. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail jene hedaken pana. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail maadach jene hedaken. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail jene hedaken pana. Yo to heen gul and do, yo to heen and do, yo to heen gul and do, keep the kitchen out the vahe. Yo to heen gul and do, yo to heen and do, yo to heen gul and do, keep the kitchen out the vahe. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail maadach jene hedaken. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail jene hedaken pana. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail maadach jene hedaken. Bjarlam hin kemeding and jail jene hedaken pana. Yo to heen gul and do, yo to heen and do, yo to heen gul and do, keep the kitchen out the vahe. Yo to heen gul and do, yo to heen and do, yo to heen gul and do, keep the kitchen out the vahe. Gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik 7 day, gala wat ik 7, gala wat ik 7 day, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe 7, gala wat ik hoe, wat ik hoe.
You! Oh. How better than to finish off our Taynuilt Ceilidh with a cracking set of perseveral. Kiad vile tank of Adi, was het zorg te ma. I guess, bevallen ze tank a these a horse, gonna hula dun you have pars on a Ceilidh na hiche knock. Lorne MacDougall, Andrew Dunlop, Simon Thoumire, Alasdair, Whyte, Màiri MacInnes. I guess Harshan just wanted to say before we finish up, it has been a real pleasure being able to hold these Taynuilt Ceilidhs over the last few months, and just a few thanks, in particular to Mcdougall and Feasgar Sin and Gael, well, we wouldn't be able to have done this if it hadn't been for the financial support, just making it possible to give people a wee bit of money, particularly at such a difficult time. Ciat míle taingaibh, sin fatan nuair coming, agus be ruth mór a sin gaine gehari do. The committee ha bake, I guess, the skip a ha goper gesuurholloch fat the bliana. And I really have to thank the committee. You know, we grew up going to the Taynuilt Ceilidhs, and it is a voluntary committee that do a pile of work in the community. They're a really small committee. So if there is anybody out there that has been enjoying the Ceilidhs and thinks, you know what, I'd love to get involved, please do. They're always looking for new blood. But I think the biggest thanks needs to go to our musicians who've been taking part every week, and also to Simon, who's been ensuring that everything runs as smoothly as it can behind the scenes. He is wonderful and has just been, you know, keeping us right, making sure it all happens. So ciat míle taingaibh to him. We genuinely couldn't have done it without you. And last but not least, Siamse is an luchaisteach befiad a chlach am an gása a bhí I cáda gréibh agus a bhí léimhigh ar cúisbheachcin a thulatúras a bh céiliachcin. Ha mín dáchas gon lein sin a raibh a bhí fríhalig na céilian Irlaine, no, an an derivative, I guess, nach be fat out, because in Crinnishin Ulla Crane called it. So thank you, lastly, to everybody who has been with us. It has been such a pleasure, genuinely, to be with you. I've had a great time chatting away, seeing my friends, hearing such fantastic music, and feeling like we were actually part of a community online, and your correspondence and your responses really have been so important to feel just like we were in it, Kaylee. I do hope you'll join us again if we do get to do it in person, but even if not, if we're carrying on online for a wee bit longer, come back once poor Simon has recovered. The Kayleys are all on our Facebook and our pages, and they're going to stay there. We're just going to leave them up, so if anybody wants to watch them, any of the ones we've held so far, go have a wee nosy. Everything is on the page. I think that's about it from me. I'm going to ask Maddie, if she doesn't mind, to lead us in our traditional finish for the night, which is Sorry Live. Na big ship John of Maddie, vi much fatta nur coming.
Okay, I'm John of show.
Glífa.
Sorry live, seiche valleif, eiche valleif, spianach leif, gaiam Slàinte gravi maleif, eiche valleif, spianach leif.
Eiche valleif a hula dunne agus spianach leif. Ti'n drast.